Alright guys, we are on week number 11. The first battle was on Wednesday, and we have the Buffalo Bulldogs taking on the Miami Magic Carps. The Magic Carps brought Naganadel, Ambipom, Zygarde 10%, Charizard, Mega Pidgeot, and Ferrothorn, while the Buffalons brought Lantern, Infernape, Mega Sharpedo, Licky Licky, Landorus, and Celesteela. There's really no announcements about this week, other than playoffs are looking more and more set in stone. I'll go over it when we go over the document at the end of this recap video. So stay tuned for that. So without any announcements, we'll move on. We have Tarzan, the Infernape, and Landorus taking on Mega Pidgeot and Naganadel. Naganadel switches out into Charizard as Pidgeot Mega Evolve and gets hit with a Rock Slide, leaving Charizard at 20%. However, Landorus goes for the Earth Power, not going to do a thing, but dies to an Hyper Beam from the Pidgeot. Lantern comes in as another Rock Slide takes out the Charizard, and leaves Pidgeot at about 30%, which just dies to a Icy Wind from the Lantern. Ferrothorn and Ambipom come switching out, forces the Infernape to switch out into Celesteela as Lantern is left there to take a Life Orb Fake Out from Ambipom, and is also a Leech Seed from the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn decides to go for a Protect as Ice Punch onto the Celesteela, eats it pretty nicely, I guess, and Ambipom gets hit with a Volt Switch, as we see Hidden Power Fire on the Ferrothorn, which forces him to switch out into Naganadel, and now Ambipom is burned from a Scarfed Will-O-Wisp from the Infernape. We see the Corkscrew crash onto the Naganadel that's just switched in, giving Celesteela another kill for the season and an attack boost. Zygarde comes out, gets hit with a Will-O-Wisp again, as Return does another third to the Infernape. That allows the Zygarde to take out the Infernape and also do pretty good damage to the Celesteela. Zygarde does die to a heavy slam from Celesteela, leaving Ambipom at 1% HP. Licky Licky comes out, gets hit with a knockoff, loses the leftovers, but Ambipom does die to his own Life Orb damage. So Rock Slide does miss, but it doesn't really mean too much, as Ferrothorn gets hit with a Flamethrower, living at 59% after Leech Seed damage on the Celesteela. Goes for Protect, trying to get as much HP as he can, as another Hidden Power Fire and Flamethrower will be able to take it out the very next turn, and that is exactly what will happen. Hidden Power Fire, he is able to live with 24%, but he will not be able to live the Flamethrower. So that will do it for this battle. Thank you guys for watching, and we're going to go to the new one. Next one, excuse me, not new one, next one. Hey guys, so we are here for battle number 2 of week 11, where we have the Rapidashes taking on the Glygars. Before I get into this, today is Saturday going on to Sunday in just about 30 minutes, so there's still a whole lot of battles to go, and nobody asked me for extensions, so look for a bunch of forfeits tomorrow. I know some of them are valuable, or viable, not valuable, as in Pearl 64, Winner 64, excuse me. Apparently he had gone to the hospital this weekend. That's a reasonable excuse. Lucy, I know, is going to college, so it's a very busy weekend. I get it. Luckily, it's towards the end of the season where these battles don't really matter drastically, but I would still like to have all the battles if I can. If not, I understand for the week. It's a crazy weekend for a lot. But anyway, let's just get into this battle and get this one over with, so we can go watch some more battles to come. But anyway, the Rapidashes brought Snorlax, Blacephalon, Dragalge, Mega Beedrill, Rotom Frost, and Vaporeon versus the Glygars, Mega Gyarados, Mamoswine, Thundurus, Alakazam, Slacking, and Scizor. Now this is a very interesting battle to watch for a few different reasons, but I'll tell you guys at the end of this. But let's get right into it. as we have Thunderous and Mamoswine taking on Blacephalon and Snorlax right off the bat. There's the Heat Wave, getting both of them down to under half. However, an Earthquake from the Mamoswine takes out the Blacephalon and does great damage to the Snorlax, as well as Thunderous going for the special attack raise and the Nasty Plot, as we see Belly Drum Snorlax, which is very scary indeed, and Rotom Frost comes out. Scizor comes out as well, but the Thunderous, excuse me, as I have hiccups, goes for an all-out pummeling, taking out the Snorlax, but also being weak to hidden power. I have no idea what. But anyway, Giga Impact takes out the incoming Vaporeon. As we see, Reflect from the Rotom allows it to live the knockoff pretty nicely. As we see Life Orb on the Scizor. Beedrill Mega Evolves, takes a Bullet Punch, not well at all, goes for a Drill Run, doesn't do too much, as Slacking recharges, and he goes for a Discharge, which is very interesting to see, taking out his own Beedrill. Now it's 5v2, Rotom and Dragalge versus a world, as Dragalge is able to live the Giga Impact, as well as live his Rotom's Discharge as Gyarados goes down, as we see a Z move, which is really weird to see at a place like this, taking out the Snorlax, the Slacking, excuse me. Bullet Punch loses to the Dragalge, as we see Rock Slide missing the Rotom, as we see another hidden power not able to kill the Mamoswine. Bullet Punch not able to kill the Rotom, only does a third, and it does in fact kill the Scizor, as we see Rock Slide taking out the Mamoswine, winning the game for the Glygars, and even putting them still in a playoff spot with 1 week to go next week, where they face against the best team in the league currently, as the Villa Toros. Now, as I said earlier, before this battle started, that this was one of the weirdest battles I've ever seen. Out of all the deaths, which was 10 deaths in this game, 3 of them were inflicted by their own team. What I mean is, Rotom took out his own Beedrill, as well as, what else happened? Honestly, don't remember at this current moment. Scizor goes for a Bullet Punch. Life Orb takes him out as well, which was really interesting to see. What else happened? Let me try to think here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who else killed himself? No, Snorlax died. Mammo got 2 kills. I guess I can't think of it right off the top of my head. No, Beedrill, it doesn't really matter too much, but it was just weird to see. But anyway, good game to the Glygars. Hopefully you guys can make playoff, get that final playoff spot. But anyway, we'll move on to the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Alright guys, here we are for 4 battles in a row, right on time. There are still 3 battles to go, and right now it is Sunday, going on to Monday. It's like 5 minutes till Monday. So I'm going to try to keep it down, just trying not to, because again, thin walls. But I know it's not ideal, so I do apologize about that. But there's still 3 battles to go. I told everyone I'm going to be dragging my feet to update the docs tomorrow. So if they can still get it done before I update the docs, then I'll still take them. But if not, then there's some forfeits. But anyway, let's just get started with these 4 battles, just so I can get them over with. I don't think these are really in order. Honestly, I don't remember off the top of my head, as I hiccup. But anyway, we will get started with it. The Wall Breakers versus the Registealers, with the Wall Breakers bringing Kyurem White, Alolan Ninetales, Mega Camerupt, Mesprit, Alolan Sandslash, and Clawitzer, versus the Registealers Typhlosion, Aegislash, Scrafty, Raichu, Blastoise, and Mega Blastoise, excuse me, and Nidoqueen. I'm going to start off with Mega Blastoise and Thunderbolt the Raichu versus the Snow Duo of Alolan Sandslash and Ninetales. Protect on the Ninetales, has Earthquake on the Sandslash, not able to kill the Thunderbolt. As a Rain Dance, very nice prep by the Registealers, as Aura Sphere takes out the Sandslash in 1 turn. Kyurem White comes out, goes for a Protect, trying to get the Aura Sphere again, but instead of Hidden Power, I have no idea what. Onto the Kyurem, not going to do a whole lot, as Flash Cannon takes out the Ninetales in 1 shot. Glitzer comes out as goes for a protect, a double protect for Clawitzer as well. Thunderbolt, Thunder is not going to do a thing, and Earth Power is not going to do a thing either. Blastoise switches out into Typhlosion. His camera switches out as he Protect Attack and go for a Grass Knight. Very nice play, but Earth Power from the Kyurem takes out the Raichu. And now Blastoise comes back out. Mega Evolution for the camera. Double Protect as we see Triple Protect, and Kyurem going for the Earth Power, trying to take out the Blastoise, but not going to do a thing. Eruption on the incoming Clawitzer does a half to the Kyurem, but unfortunately Earth Power is not able to take the Blastoise, and Water Pulse confuses the Clawitzer. As we go for a Protect for both Typhlosion and Kyurem, Clawitzer takes 33 and hurts himself in confusion, which allows Typhlosion to go for the Eruption and take out the Kyurem as Clawitzer goes for the Protect. And then we have 5 versus 3. Mesprit comes out. Mesprit takes a Eruption, but Clawitzer does not. But that does allow Water Pulse to hit the Mesprit. However, Confusion hits himself, and it is a 5v1. I do believe Hidden Power Water takes out the Camerupt, and we have a 5-0 win for the Registealers. Next up, we have the Infernape taking on the Lycanrocs. The Lycanrocs brought Togekiss, Mew, Mega Lucario, Weezing, Arcanine, and Mudsdale versus the Infernapes, Heatran, Sceptile, Zapdos, Tapu Fini, Drifblim, and Excelgor. We have Fini and Zapdos starting off against Weezing and Togekiss. Miscutrain comes up as we see a switch out into Mega Lucario for whatever reason, as Zapdos goes for a Tailwind, as we also see a Protect Sludge Wave. It does hit the Zapdos and does in fact poison it the first turn, which does matter down the road. Mega Evolution for the Lucario, as we see Soak, as well as a Electrium Z, takes out the Weezing in one hit, which is very nice for him, as Meteor Mash is not able to get this attack boost, but does not kill the Fini either. Goes for another Soak on the Lucario, as well as a Thunderbolt taking out the Lucario, as another Sludge Wave not able to take out the Fini, as we see the Guava Berry as well, and Zapdos is living on 8%. Now Mudsdale comes out, and we see the Soak Thunderbolt happen one more time, taking out the Mew. That allows Mudsdale to go for, unfortunately, Rest. I don't know if that was misclick or what, but the Zapdos does die to the poison. And that allows Excelgor to come out and go for the Encore on Mudsdale. Very nice play. As we see the Taunt on Togekiss, which is also a nice play, but unfortunately he actually goes for an Air Slash on the Excelgor, and Mudsdale is forced into Rest. Arcanine comes out, gets the Intimidate boost, which obviously does not matter against these two. As we see Nature's Madness doing 50% to the Togekiss, as Air Slash is not going to do a thing because of Protect. Fini switches out into Heatran, as Mudsdale switches out as well. Final Gambit, not able to kill the Togekiss, but does kill himself, and Heatran does live the Air Slash very, very nicely. Sceptile comes out now, goes for the Mega Evolution as a Protect, and Follow Me from the Togekiss. Very nice play, but unfortunately the Mudsdale goes for Earthquake, which is only going to hit the Sceptile for a third of its damage. Arcanine comes out, gets the Intimidate, which again doesn't really matter, but no other choice by Rock Hands. Drifblim comes out, and so does Tapu Fini, which Drifblim gets the special defense boost. Z Will-O-Wisp, which is a very nice bring on Rock Hand's part, as we see a Heavy Slam doing just about half, and we'll bring it under half after burn damage. As we see the Tailwind from Drifblim, which will secure the win for the Infernapes, as we see Flare Blitz Arcanine take out the Drifblim, and we now bring out Sceptile, which he goes for a Protect, so Tapu Fini can go for the Soak on Arcanine, allowing the Energy Ball to take it out, as Flare Blitz is not going to do a thing to the Sceptile, as Mudsdale goes for the Rest yet again. I don't know what he was thinking there, but Energy Ball takes out the Arcanine. Nature's Madness onto the Mudsdale, getting the Stamina boost. Heavy Slam is unfortunately not able to kill, lives on 30%, and Energy Ball takes out Mudsdale, and we have a 3-0 win for the Infernapes. Next up, we have Lucy Goosey and the Tennessee Magnemite taking on Mandy the Turtle and the Gainesville Goodras. Anyway, the Goodras brought Deoxys Attack, Thunderous Tea, Serena, Aromatisse, Hitmontop, and Alolan Persian, while the Magnemitans brought Mawile, Tapu Koko, Politoed, sorry, something distracted me. Kingdra, Amoonguss, and Pikachu. Lucy, if you're listening to this, I just read your nickname in the PBA chat, so that's what I was laughing at. I apologize about that. But anyway, Tapu Koko and Pikachu start off against Serena and Alolan Persian. Pikachu switches out into Amoonguss as a fake out on Tapu Koko only does 7%, but it will be enough for a knockoff to knock off the Figgy Berry, which in my opinion is pretty huge, as we see the taunt onto the Persian, not allowing it to go for the parting shot, and Zen Headbutt on Serena, which in my opinion was a very, very good brain by Mandy, but unfortunately he's not able to do the kill, and he switches out into Mawile as Tapu Koko goes for the Calm Mind, which is very, very scary indeed, as Mandy actually decides to double into the Mawile with Dark Pulse and Zen Headbutt. Aromatisse comes in, and so does Polly. Does not want to take a move as Hidden Power. I want to say it's Ice, but I'm not entirely sure. As we see the Z move, Helping Hands into that Gigavolt Havoc, and it only does half to the Serena. We see that the Serena is in fact Assault Vested. Thundurus does come out as we see a light screen on Aromatisse, which is very, very nice. As we see the Tapu Koko going for the Calm Mind, as Sludge Bomb brings it down to 43%. As Moonblast is not going to do a whole lot to the incoming Aromatisse. Hidden Power unfortunately crits. Mandy would have been able to live and take out the Koko with a Z Poison, which she was going for. And now switches out into Mawile as Serena comes in as well. Takes the Hidden Power Ice very, very well as Zen Headbutt brings the Koko down to about 26%. Goes for another Hidden Power Ice, not able to kill as a Drop Kick brings it down to 5%, allowing Mawile to pick up the kill on the Serena with Play Rough, as we see the Reflect on Aromatisse. And at first I did not really like that, but then thinking about it, allows the Mawile, who is already at low attack, to do even less. Now Amoonguss comes in, takes some fake out pretty nicely, and the Mawile actually lives on 27%, goes for the Play Rough on Hitmontop, as Close Combat's not going to do a whole lot to the Amoonguss, but does in fact get a crit, which in my opinion is pretty huge, as Psychic is not able to take out the Amoonguss, lives on 7%, and switches out into Politoed, as the Hitmontop goes for Protect, and a Play Rough is not going to be able to kill, and Psychic only does 17% to the Politoed as well. Mawile goes for the Protect as Hitmontop tries to go for Protect as well. It does not work as Skull takes out the Hitmontop, as we see the Moonblast trying to hit the, what is that thing called? As Fake Out, unfortunately, was actually a misplay, giving him the Guava Berry, but unfortunately does flinch, as we see the Toxic on Aromatisse. Light Screen again is not going to gonna really help against the Politoed. As we see Helping Hands, but Parting Shot switches out into Deoxys, which in my opinion was not the replay, but she really didn't have too much of a choice, as Moonblast only does 28% again. Now the Toxic damage is doing its thing. Goes for the Sucker Punch, which the Deoxys is sashed, but Hidden Power, I don't know what, takes out the Mawile, as Moonblast does a quarter to Politoed. So you see Toxic damage doing its thing to Aromatisse yet again. Switches out into Persian, and then Amoonguss switches out from Politoed. Fake Out onto the Persian is not going to do a whole lot, and Reflect does come up, allowing Aromatisse to die. Deoxys comes out yet again. Pikachu switches out, saving that Fake Out just in case, but the Persian goes for the Fake Out on the incoming Koko, and Politoed switches back out, taking out the Koko. An Ice Beam only does a little bit to the Politoed. Kingdra comes out as well, goes for the Extreme Speed on Kingdra, as it does do about a third, but Dragon Pulse takes out the Deoxys, as well as Dark Pulse, able to live by 28%, and Scald's doing about a third of damage to Persian, but leftover recovery. As we also see Helping Hands into the Dragon Pulse, takes out the Persian, and Poly wins 4-0. We're going to the last battle on this Sunday, as there's a hair on my screen. You have the Kartanas taking on the Heracross. Kartanas brought Tapu Lele, Megazam, Regirock, Sceptile, Salazzle, and Talonflame, while the Heracross brought Mega Slowbro, Necrozma, Alolan Raichu, Doublade, Gliscor, and Fortress. let's get started with this. As we have Tapu Lele and Mega Zam versus Slowbro and Alolan Raichu. Mega Evolution and decides to go for a Protect right off the bat, not knowing what Raichu's gonna do, tries to Volt Switch, but unfortunately not gonna do a thing, as Slowbro does live the Moonblast and goes for a Trick Room. Zam switches out into Sceptile as a Slack Off onto the Slowbro. Moonblast onto the Raichu does in fact take it out, which allows Doublade to come in, and a Fortress switches out as well as Protect. Gyro Ball is not going to do a thing to the Lele, as we have Energy Ball only doing 14 to the Fortress. Talonflame switches in as Sceptile goes for the Protect, does over half from the Gyro Ball, which is, in my opinion, still amazing. Switches out into Salazzle as Talonflame goes for a Protect, as Rock Slide not able to take out the Salazzle. I was kind of surprised about that, but Gyro Ball is, and we're tied at 5 all. Trick Room does end as Tapu Lele comes back out, resetting the terrain, as Doublade goes for Protect. Fortress dies to the Flare Blitz, Rocky Helmet, but the recoil does in fact take it out. As Psychic, not going to do a thing to the Protect from the Doublade. As Mega Bro comes out as well as Mega Alakazam. Gliscor switches out as Shadow Ball onto the Slowbro, doesn't even do over half, neither does Moonblast, but does lower the special attack as Trick Room comes out one more time. Zam switches out into Regirock as a Slack Off from Slowbro. U-turn breaks the Sturdy on the Regirock, but I don't know if it was actually Sturdy. As Psychic onto the Doublade, I don't know what happened there. But Gyro Ball onto the wrong Mon, unfortunately. Scald is able to burn the Regirock, but crit on the Fire Punch. I don't know if the crit mattered. I don't think so. But anyway, Gliscor comes out as Sceptile also switches out. Scald again onto the Sceptile. Gets another burn. Stone Edge trying to get the crit, but unfortunately cannot, as Gliscor dies to a Psychic. Now just leaving it 4 versus 2. Necrozma comes out, goes for a Protect on Tapu Lele as well as Sceptile, losing the Trick Room this turn, as now Necrozma and Slowbro are in trouble. Energy Ball not able to take out the Slowbro, lives on 3%, but unfortunately a crit on the Necrozma, lives on 12%. Skull takes out the Tapu Lele as we see Trick Room yet again for a 2 versus 3. Regirock comes out, and Regirock lives on just 1%, goes for the Rock Slide, not able to kill the Necrozma, but Slowbro does in fact go down, as well as Sceptile 2. And now Regirock does die to the burn, so that's second kill for Slowbro, and we have Necrozma at 8% versus the Mega Alakazam. Alakazam lives a crit Photon Geyser and goes for Shadow Ball, which is able to take out the Necrozma, and we have a win for Kartana's 1-0. Alright guys, that will do it for me. Here's a good screenshot of Hoobie's team page. Nice. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. It's either going to be another battle or the document update. But then, again, thank you guys for watching. Alright guys, so sorry about that 1 second pause. I wasn't really paying attention when I started recording. But anyway, we have the Twinta Tentacles versus the Politoads. The Politoads brought Delphox, Mega Manectric, Ditto, Conkeldurr, Mandibuzz, and Araquanid versus Cresselia, Incineroar, Tangela, Vivillon, Mismagius, and Zygarde. Araquanid and Ditto start off against Cresselia and Mismagius, as we see the imposter on the Ditto goes for the Helping Hand on the Araquanid, as well onto the Mismagius. Mismagius goes for the Shadow Ball, does great damage to the Ditto. However, the Leech Life is not going to do a lot because of the Tonga Berry. Even with the Tonga Berry, that did very little. Mandibuzz and Incineroar come out onto the field as the Shadow Ball is only going to do 15% of the Mandibuzz. Liquidation is not able to kill the Mismagius because of the Intimidate. But anyway, the Mismagius switches out into Cresselia yet again with a Protect on Incineroar, as Foul Play only does 23 to the Cresselia, and Incineroar takes nothing because of the Protect. The Zygarde switches out now as Moonlight brings the Cresselia back up to full, which is very nice. However, it does get poisoned by the Mandibuzz. Liquidation brings the Zygarde down to 71% and also gets the defense drop. Cresselia switches out into Incineroar, gets the attack drop on both the Arachnid and Mandibuzz again. Zygarde goes for the Dragon Dance, however, dies to the foul play from the Mandibuzz, as Liquidation does about half to the Incineroar, even at half attack. Mandibuzz switches out into Manectric as Arachnid decides to protect. Quiver Dance on the Vivillon, and Sunny Day, which is very unfortunate for the Tentacles, as Intimidate is definitely going to help. However, he does miss the Hurricane because of the sun. And the Volt Switch brings the Vivillon down to its Sash, and switches out into the Ditto, gets the Imposter Boost, however, dies to the Flare Blitz that came from Incineroar. Delphox comes out now, as a Bug Buzz is not able to kill, unfortunately, but Dazzling Gleam is able to take out the Vivillon, as well as Foul Play does about 11%, and Flare Blitz only does a quarter to Mandibuzz. Tangela comes out now. Tangela decides to go for a Protect turn 1, as another Dazzling Gleam is able to kill the Incineroar, and that does allow Cresselia to come out. Forces a switch out into Arachnid as a Protect from the Tangela. Psyshock does about a quarter to Arachnid, and Tangela is now poisoned, along with Cresselia that was poisoned since turn whatever. Protect on the Tangela again as another 0.25% damage onto the Arachnid. As Foul Play and Leech Life double out into Tangela, however, it's not going to do anything because of the Protect, but Toxic Damage is doing its thing. Hidden Power, I have no idea what, as well as Psyshock is still not able to take out the Arachnid. Foul Play only does 11 to Tangela, and Leech Life does 30 to the Tangela as well. Leech Life damage Toxic Damage is doing its thing. Arachnid decides to go for Protect as another Hidden Power and Psyshock, but however it's not going to do a thing. Foul Play brings Tangela down to 13%. Toxic does in fact take it out, leaving Cresselia at 34% as well. Helping Hands as Power Gem not able to take out the Mandibuzz. Foul Play takes out the Mismagius, and Liquidation is able to take out the Cresselia, and Polly is able to win 5-0. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll go to the standings for the week. Come on. Alright. We're at let's go to the red conference this time. We have Heracross and the Beedrills both 2 and 9. The Tentacles and the Rapidashes are both 3 and 8. Magmitans are now 5 and 6, and the Bouffalons are at 6 and 5. Wall Breakers fall down a spot at 7 and 4, Infernapes move up the spot at 8 and 3, and the Tauros are still at 10 and 1 and have clinched first place in the red division. Over in the blue conference, Lycanroc is the only team eliminated with a 3 and 8 record. Gligar's, Goodrow's, Politoes, and Solar Beams all at 5 and 6, all have a chance for playoffs still, and Magikarps at 6 and 5. Wild Meowths are at 7 and 4, Registealers are at 8 and 3, and the Kartanas are at 9 and 2. I'm not going to go over the pick'em standings for the week. You guys can look them over right now. I'll give this a few seconds. But the main thing is Buff has a 10-game lead over Hooby with not many battles to go. League leaders now, we'll go over to the defensive league leaders, and we have Amoonguss on top. However, we're going to start at the bottom with Togekiss at a 4.40, Genesect at a 4.41, Hippowdon's at a 4.45, Lantern is at a 4.55, Jellicent is at 4.56, Mudsdale is at a 4.58, Mega Steelix at 4.6, Arcanine 4.70, and Simeon is at 4.83, with Amoonguss at a 7.33. Goodrow's on the bottom with a 11.4, Torkoal is at 11.3, Venusaur is at 11.6, Swampert, 12-6, Swampert 12-2. Mega Blastoise moves up from the bottom now to 6th place, 13-6, as well as Kiramu 2, 13-6. Celesteela finally gets a couple kills and does not die, 14-9. Mega Alakazam is at 15-5, same with Heatran is 15-5, and Genesect is still on top with 15-2. We'll go over to the schedule right now. And let me just pull up the pick'em standings for the week, or game picks, whatever you guys want to call them. First up is the Kartanas versus the Beedrills. This is my lock pick for the Kartanas. Next up is Goodras versus Wall Breakers. I am going with the Wall Breakers on this one. Wild Meowths versus Heracross. I am going with the Wild Meowths. Gligar's versus Tauros. I am going with the Tauros. She has been on fire. Politoes versus Rapidashes. I am going with the Politoes on this one. Magikarps versus Infernapes. And Lycanrocs versus Tentacools, and I'm going with the Tentacools. The Bouffalants and the Solar Beams have already happened. Spoiler alert, it already happened. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and good luck in week number 12.